Welcome to our very first Josh and Dewy podcast. My name is Josh.
And my name is Dewy. We'll be discussing about fantasy football today. That'll be our main focus for our podcast. Hopefully, Josh and I will eventually be able to, maybe expand to pop culture, food news. I don't know, is there anything specific you really wanted to talk about?
No, just
sports?
NFL, NBA, please.
All right, yeah, we'll keep it that for now. So we just want to give you a little brief background of our fantasy football league, which is what we're going to be discussing in this entire episode. And so our league is called the League of Champions, and it started about 8 years ago. Consisted of me, Josh, and just a bunch of high school friends, and eventually just expanded to church people. I don't know, we just got random people to join us. Now we're a 14-man league. It's been pretty good. This year it's been a little stressful for me and Josh.
It's a ride of roller coasters.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm last, but
you are last. You are last.
I got good potential. That's all I'm saying.
Let's just say Dewey is 0-4 this year.
Yeah, whatever, dude. You're not doing any better. Josh is 1-3 for the record. But let's just go straight into our first topic. So we're going to discuss the best and worst, and so we'll discuss the best and worst trades. So Josh, do you have what is your best trade so far this year in the 2015 League of Champions Fantasy League?
Personally, I thought Dewey and our friend Ego, or as many of you guys might know him as Daniel
Or he likes to go by in our fantasy league, sorry, Miss Jackson.
I thought
Just kidding, so I'm sorry, F. Jackson.
Oh, yeah. But I thought Dewey and Ego's trade was one of the best, where both of the teams got benefited from, as Dewey got Gio Bernard, my favorite. That was one of my top players going into the draft that I wanted.
His first love ever since his rookie year.
The Gio dude.
It's seriously way too much, man.
And Brandon Marshall and Ego obviously got Aaron Foster, one of the top 3 running backs in the league.
But he was hurt. He was hurt the first 3 games, so it was kind of he took a chance with it.
Yeah, and it worked out because they played this Thursday, and Aaron Foster got 16 points. Even though he didn't even get a touchdown, so.
But then if you look at his stats, it was 19 carries for 30. We don't have the stats in front of us. Just for the clarification, this is pure just me and Josh just going off in our heads. But it was 19 carries for 60 yards or something like that. Yeah, I know he did have 7 receptions, but I mean still.
But I think as the focal point of the offense, with Ryan Mallett and Brian O'Hare having a quarterback by committee.
Not a good committee.
Not a very good one either. But I think even Aaron Foster will start, easing back.
Yeah,
coming back from a very big injury, so I think he's gonna have a great.
And don't forget, I also threw in Reggie Bush,
who got promptly dropped right after.
Yeah, I spent $7 on him in our auction draft, and he was supposed to be my sleeper pick of the year, but that clearly didn't work.
But just going back, I thought that was the best trade of our league so far. This personally, you want to talk about your thoughts on the best trade this year?
Well, my best trade, that was supposed to be my best trade, but I will switch my pick to, I think, me and Josh Lee's trade. It sounds a little biased because, we're the ones hosting this podcast. But, our trade was Josh Lee's second love, Jordan Matthews, and Vincent Jackson. So those are the players I gave up. And I received Justin Forsett and, Cam Newton.
So. Just context on why that trade needed to happen.
You don't have to explain yourself, bro.
I want to,
all
but
right.
I just to throw that out there, that I did have my boy Benji, Kelvin Benjamin, as well as Jordy Nelson, who I drafted during our draft, who got hurt right after we drafted. So I did need a depth at the wide receiver position, and Dewey handily did have 2 extra receivers that he wanted to give back. And Justin Forsett is obviously a top 15 running back.
That was just his projection, I guess.
But. As well as Canyon, who is a beast with his rushing touchdowns. But I thought we both benefited very well from the trade, even though Dewey traded both of them already. So
I kept Justin Forsett. So.
Oh, you did? Okay,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
But it is crazy that you did lose both your starting wide receivers. I never seen that happen. 2 top-notch players.
And we know that people have had bad luck in the past with fantasy. Obviously, I'm not the first. But when this really happened, I was just distraught and thought about retiring before the season even began. But
viewers, just to let you know, Josh Lee goes through a lot of anger tantrums, so we'll probably...
I wouldn't say necessarily anger tantrum. I would like to say highs and lows of my emotions.
A lot of lows for clarifications. A lot of lows.
Yes,
all right, so those are our best trades. So what did you think was the worst trades so far this year?
I just wanted to say that Dewey straight up committed a highway robbery on
Whoa,
Andrew Song.
whoa.
Andrew Song, our very first big.
Wait, do you really think that? Honestly.
I really thought that because let me give you guys a context of what happened. Andrew Song joined our league for the very first time this year after Dewy had a fallout, our past member.
Yeah, and he's apparently supposed to quit there soon, so or get fired.
Yes, hopefully we'll get him back next year. But Andrew Song joined after fierce competition with our another friend Paul Kim. But that's another story for a later time. But Andrew is not a savant.
Come on,
as me and Dewy
come
when
on.
it comes to fantasy football. But I thought Dewy did take a little advantage of Andrew's naive mind when it comes to fantasy. No slight to Andrew if you're listening, we love you. But I really thought he was taken advantage of after Dewy traded. Who'd you trade?
Who'd I trade? I gave away. So these are both free agent pickups I traded away for a starter.
Derek Carr and Travis Benjamin.
Yeah.
For who was it?
For Lamar Miller.
Lamar Miller.
That was it. Honestly, Lamar Miller was not having a good year.
I mean, he was going against a very good defense as well as an inept coaching team. But I thought during that time, I thought it was a highway robbery, but it's actually turned out worse for both of them, so I guess it's okay.
I don't know. Derek Carr is
good
looking like a stud right now.
I think he's going to be a franchise quarterback in the next coming years. I think Raiders have a really good future with him. But I mean, that time I thought it was a worse trade, but actually looking back now, I guess it wouldn't be as bad as I thought it was, so.
Yeah. But I mean, it's still your pick, though. It's the worst trade, I guess.
Yeah,
whatever,
dude.
dude.
All the other trades.
I honestly think... I think my worst trade is you and Ann. It was just the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. It was Carolina defense. Josh was giving away Carolina defense.
Well, I paid $6-7 for during the draft.
Yeah, he overpaid for a defense, which he traded right away. And in return, he got Tampa Bay defense. We all know how they're doing. Terrible. Or that whole team in general, I guess. And who was it? Oh, and Ruben Randall, who... he dropped right before his big 20-point game.
Let me just say real quick.
It's the story of Josh's life.
Let me defend myself real quick. What happened was y'all already know that Jordy Nelson and Kelvin Benjamin was hurt, so I didn't need a depth at wide receiver, and this was before the beginning of first week of the season. So both of us didn't know anything that was gonna go on before the season. But Ruben Randall was supposed to be the number 2 option behind OBJ after Victor Cruz got hurt.
Eli Manning.
Hindsight is 2020, and Tampa Bay was going against a rookie quarterback, the Titans, and I just thought Lovie Smith is obviously known for his defense. Obviously not anymore, but at the time it made sense.
Hey, you know what? We agree to disagree. Whatever, dude. Either way, I feel like it's kind of weird that both of our worst trades were with each other.
each other's.
So, so that's the best and worst trades so far. 4 games into the season. So, let's go into the next best and worst. So we'll say, who do you think is looking like the best team right now?
I really thought it was a toss-up at first between Dewy and Mac's team, but I think really looking at Mac's team, I really like our other friend Mac Vu. He is our...
Pull that up.
His team name is Adrian Peterson. Beat a son, and his name is... anyway, I really thought... So he's 4th in our league right now out of 14 members, and his record is 3-1, and I think his record proves how good his team is.
It's crazy, though. He's projected 90 points a week, yet he scores 150. It's it makes me so angry.
I think it's because I honestly, going into the draft, I really did want Keenan Allen. I thought he was going to have a bounce back season after his very disappointing sophomore year. Wait, is this? Yeah, his sophomore year. But I think that pairing Phillip Rivers with Keenan Allen was a great idea, as the Chargers actually do have a pretty good offense.
Yeah, it's a common tactic.
Even though our O-line is pretty bad. And Alshon Jeffrey's finally back. He did have Alshon Jeffrey on the bench for, I think he had a hammy injury.
Something
past
like that.
4 weeks. And I really think Jeremy Hill, Mark Ingram are top 10 fantasy running backs this year. I mean, even Mark Ingram's fantasy points do prove it, even though he might not be the flashy and the sexiest running back in real life. Yet he hasn't had less than double-digit points in rush fantasy points, which is very rare for such a rare position. So I really thought his team was really good, and I really like Greg Olsen and Allen Hurns as his flex.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, I really thought he has one of the best teams this year. So
yeah, I guess. I mean, he is top in scoring. I think he's top.
Yeah, I think the stats don't lie.
He is top in scoring. It's ridiculous. The projections are always super low, but whatever. Well, my best team that I think is, I wrote an article like a couple weeks ago, so I'm gonna stick.
Great article. I highly encourage everyone to go read it if you haven't.
Thanks.
It is
But
on Facebook.
I'm gonna stick with my word, and he is reluctantly number one in our league right now. Stephen Min, a previous champion back in 2000, believe 2010.
I don't know. Nobody remembers.
Yeah, but he is a past champion. But his team is looking great. He has OBJ and Emmanuel Sanders. He did have Des Bryant until he got out for the season. So that was a three-headed horse just waiting just to wreck everybody.
So if he had Des, his team would have been even more amazing.
And it's Jerry Maclin. Like, what the heck, dude? His team is so stacked.
Even though his running backs are
lacking, but I mean, he got lucky with Abdullah. Abdullah kind of worked out for him.
Even though he benched him this week, I don't know why. Over for Chris Johnson and Ronnie Hillman.
Dude,
why?
He loves Chris Johnson though. Like something.
Oh yeah, I seriously, Steven needs to come to this podcast and explain to us why he is so enamored with Chris Johnson every single year.
I don't get it either. Like
his unfailing love for him really boggles my mind.
Well, I mean, it's like, I guess it's similar to you with Gio. Like we don't understand why you love Gio.
I don't have
much.
Gio Bernard this year though.
Yeah,
if you want to make a trade though.
Hey, just hit me up, bro. But yeah, I think Stephen Min, his team's looking great. It looked like he wasn't gonna have a good quarterback, but Marcus Mariota, I guess he's the real deal.
Who knew? Everyone thought Jameis Winston was gonna be the better quarterback, but
did everyone think that? I don't know.
Well, I think a lot of people said Jameis had like the intangibles, right? The leadership skills, and people thought Mariota was kind of the passive guy who was just kind of,
See, that's the thing.
Not really a leader.
The only thing that was in question with those two is like their character, their leadership abilities, but. Even though Marcus Mariota is a quiet guy and like passive, like there are leaders that are like that. You don't have to be the loud, not obnoxious, but loud and charismatic like Ray Lewis.
That's a good point.
You can be quiet, like Eli Manning. He's a great leader.
Is he?
Quote unquote. I mean, he has 2 Super Bowl rings, so
off a very that David Tyree helmet catch, but yeah, we'll let it slide.
Yeah, I guess, but
yeah, I think Steven does have a pretty good team. It's just. I think the reason why I really liked Mac's team was that because his team was so overall well-rounded with good receivers, good quarterback, and a good running backs. Because I guess like his team doesn't really have like a glaring hole in a position. Like Steven is starting Chris Johnson and Ronnie Hillman, which are very average running backs. Even though his tight end Julius Thomas is back this year, and he has Denver defense.
They're looking
which have been amazing this year.
Yeah.
Like almost to the point of matchup proof.
Like the one time Peyton Manning needed a good defense, like he's like a scrub.
Yeah. Like noodle arm Peyton Manning. Yeah. Linguini arm Peyton Manning, as Bill Simmons so eloquently said. But yeah, even looking at the stats for Denver D this year for fantasy, 16, 22, 16, 10.
Dude, hop on the Stephen Min train,
That
bro.
is
come on.
Amazing. Defense wins championships, I would say.
It's not too late to leave the Mac train and hop on the Stephen train.
I always stuck. I got you, Mac. I still think your team's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Steven seems pretty good now that looking back.
All right, so we're kind of sick of like praising other guys in our league. We hate them. So let's go on to what we want to hear. Who do you think is the worst team? Not necessarily by stats and by rankings, because I'm in last, but we'll just say who we think potentially is going to start going downhill from now. So Josh, who do you think has the worst team?
I think just looking at it right now.
You're not gonna say Kevin Young?
No, we love you, Kevin. I don't think your team's that bad.
No, he said that off air. Just to clarify, he thinks you're the worst team.
No, Kevin, I think your team's not bad, but I really think, and this is purely subjective, so I hope that none of the people in our league take it personal, but I really thought KK's team was very overrated. He is right now. Kevin Kim, for those who you don't know, his name is Waka Flocka Flame.
He's also in the Asian Olympics team, so he's kind of famous, right?
yeah, the most famous person out of
we should bring him on our pod, man.
We will bring him in.
Yeah, we're going to get some famous Asians on here. KK.
But he is currently the 6th seed in our league, which is just enough to make the playoffs. Because our cutoff is 6 teams. Mm-hmm. But I think the only reason his team is 3-1 is because he has had one of the lowest points with 329 compared to the next highest, which is ironically Dewy's 521, which is
ridiculous.
So I really thought KK's team was a lot overrated. Flacco is not a sexy fantasy quarterback. Mike Evans is okay. Jameis Winston has been of a dumpster fire the past couple of weeks. John Brown, boomer bust, WR3.
Yeah,
Frank Gore only had a sexy week this week. And Le'Veon Bell is obviously, I think, the best fantasy running back right now.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, I completely agree.
And Todd Gurley actually
I don't know.
was
think that's just
amazing.
I didn't watch the game, but you think that was just a one-game wonder?
People
one-game
started
wonder,
comparing him to AP in his prime, just being able to fit that hole and just bursting through. Apparently, he was a highly touted as a college player, so
Man, I'm just not.
I'm not sold on him yet, too, because he's obviously he's coming back from an injury and.
I don't watch college football either, so I don't really know what
me
he was
too.
like.
Yeah, so take our opinions with a grain of salt.
Yeah, don't trust us on Todd Gurley. He's probably gonna be like Hall of Famer one day.
But I mean, he rushed for 146 yards on 19 carries, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Considering he's average, almost 7 yards per carry, which is against the Rams O line, which is
This is a sample size of one game though, just to be fair.
Yeah, very small samples. But I really thought KK's team was very overrated. And his team wasn't that good, but honestly, it's not that bad. It's just if I had to point a gun to my hand, if I had to pick, I'll just pick KK's team.
And just a side note, I think KK has the best team name.
Waka Flacco Flame.
Yeah, isn't that sick? And look, here's a picture. Here's a picture of Joe Flacco.
Not to
like Waka
tout my
Flacco.
own horn, but I thought my team name was pretty good.
Mad
Max after the Max Williams tight end. He has 2 X's in his name.
Do you even have him on your team still?
I did promptly drop him after he gave me 2 points, but I thought that was a very creative name for my team anyway.
Sure.
Yeah, but no, enough about my opinion. Dewey, what do you think about the worst team in our league?
Wait, before I go into that, John, what are we on time?
Can you edit this out?
It's been about 60
Doesn't matter if we keep it 60 minutes. Okay, I just want to make sure we're not going too long.
Okay.
But
Dang, it's already been 16 minutes.
I'm gonna say this after I made this trade with this guy. I think Ann Win, aka the Winners, he's 9th out of 14th. He's 2-2. I think he potentially has the worst team. So me and Ann had a trade earlier in the season last week, and he gave up Tom Brady, and then he dropped Ryan Tannehill. So now he's left with starting Alex Smith at quarterback. I'm not a fan of Alex Smith. I know his fantasy numbers do look a little...
Well, in his defense, Cam Newton's on a bye this week.
True.
So the only reason he'd be starting Alex Smith is...
I'm not a huge believer of Cam Newton. That's the reason why I got rid of him.
I really thought that Cam Newton's going to have a great year because obviously his wide receivers suck.
Yeah.
And he was going to get his fantasy points through the ground. Obviously, he's amazing.
That's the thing. We have to rely on his
quarterback.
running to get the points.
Well,
That's the thing.
The Panthers did play a lot of read option plays. So
yeah, but it's like he's going to get hurt. This guy is always looking like he's in pain when he's getting up.
That is true. That is actually very true. He's had one of the most sacks in the league coming in. So.
And this is all about last-minute pushes. So let's hope Cam Newton is still there. Then I guess Ann's team's not as bad. But I think, Alex Smith or Cam Newton, whatever you want to look at. Calvin Johnson, I mean, he has a good resume.
That Detroit offense is just terrible.
Yeah, Calvin Johnson's a little overrated this year. Martavis Bryant, we don't know what we're expecting because Mike Vick's still the quarterback, so Bryant's not going to have a great... The next 3 weeks aren't going to be that great. CJ Spiller, he's sexy, like highlight reel, but no, he's not like a... That's his number one running back, technically. Unless you want to look at DeMarco Murray as his number one.
Supposed to be,
but Murray's pretty much done.
You know how Murray's been playing.
Good riddance. Oh, yeah, disclaimer, we're also Cowboys fans, me and Josh.
Oh, yeah.
Travis Kelce, he's a good player. I think he's going to be one of the top tight ends, but he's still a little inconsistent.
Yeah.
And then I gave away Brandon Cooks. I was kind of sad to give him up, but...
Even though you posted that video of him, Brandon Cooks, getting that Mercedes for his mom, saying
if y'all have not seen that YouTube clip, we highly recommend you watch it.
I told you I was going to get you the car, Mom.
It's a Cadillac.
Oh, it's a Cadillac. It wasn't a... No, I thought it was a Mercedes.
It
was like that station... It was like a wagon, Mercedes-Benz wagon, I think.
Oh, just kidding.
I don't know. Don't quote me. I haven't watched the video in a while.
Yeah, but it's a really good video.
I teared up.
I got real emotional. I'm not an emotional guy.
I teared up.
Yeah, no, seriously. But, and just no knock on you, I think your team's overrated. Maybe not the worst, but I think it's a pretty overrated team.
Yeah. I think...
And is also a past champion. But, so that's the best and worst. That's our little mini segment we had. So let's just finish it off with matchups. This week's matchups, week 5.
We'll be going through everyone's matchups.
All right, so first matchup, we have Dewey Goodell, a.k.a. me, versus Waka Flocko Flame, KK. KK's already scored 26.8 points from the Thursday night game.
Oh,
Freaking
wow.
Frank Gore decided to go off, and Adam Vinatieri. So he's already up 26-0. The lines say that KK -3.
I don't agree with it. And I've always said this, that Yahoo projections are terrible and they're never right. But if I had to see that who would win this week.
With KK with 26 points already.
Yeah. I really, and I told Dewy this, but I really like Dewy's team this year now that he's made all these trades. He has Angry Tom.
Thank you.
That Patriots offense has just been firing in all 4 cylinders.
We know he did it. There's a reason why he's so
He did
angry.
not.
We know he did it.
I love you, Tom. And I don't think you did it, man.
He's not going to listen to this podcast.
I didn't think you did it, bro. I am
So
totally,
if I had a gun to your head,
he didn't do it.
you're going to say he didn't do it.
You know, the people talked about how he threw away the cell phone, how sketchy that was.
Yeah.
I really thought that I wouldn't want anybody going looking through my phone.
I guess
and looking through
we'll talk about this another time.
all my sketchy texts and not that I do a lot of sketchy texts, but I wouldn't want anybody going through my phone.
I guess. Let's move on. We'll
Yeah,
talk about this another time.
we're getting to tangent. But anyway, I think Dewey has a very good chance against KK's team. I think Dewey might be able to get his first win of the year.
If I don't get my first win of the year, I'm going to have to make another trade.
I think at that point you should just give up. If you've lost 1/3 of your games,
You're right.
I think you should.
I'll just be the heartbreaker who breaks playoff
just be that guy that
hopes.
trolls everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think this week, Dewey could have a pretty decent chance, even though he is starting Anquan so strong, Bolden.
Freaking Brandon Marshall on a bye. It's just not great timing.
Yeah, not a good timing, but I
have two tight ends starting, so that's kind of risky.
I really like Charles Clay. I mean,
Yeah.
I think Sammy Watkins hasn't done anything, and Robert Woods, I don't even know if he's still there, but Percy Harvin, they're all pretty overrated, even though they are a run first team.
Yeah.
But Charles Clay, he's been a pretty solid tight end for Tyrod Taylor, but
Let's hope so. Yeah, so I mean, I completely agree with you. I think
obviously you're not gonna say your team's gonna lose.
I think I'm gonna get my first win. So KK, screw you. All right, so second game, let's go. So we have Beast Mode.
Which is Daniel Kim.
Daniel Kim from
Not
Georgia.
to be confused with the other Daniel Kim in our church.
Or the other Daniel Kim that went to Baylor with me. But he's the new guy as well. So we got Beast Mode, Daniel Kim versus Kevin Huang, Monday Morning GM.
Do you know what his teammate name means?
Dude,
I should never ask Kevin, but Kevin, you gotta explain to us what Monday Morning GM means, because I'm so confused by your team name.
Dude, who knows? But the lines is Kevin.
The line is.
Whatever, dude. Kevin -4. What do you think about that? Just looking at the spreadsheet right now.
I really like Kevin's team. I kind of disagree. I disagree with you on when you said on your article that he was gonna be the first one to go winless, but he already beat me last week. Cause I started Andre Ellington even though he was hurt, and Kevin didn't tell me.
Disgusting.
I'm just kidding. I really don't care. My team sucks anyway. But I really think Kevin. I would have to agree with the Yahoo projections on this one. I really like Demarius. I mean, his team's actually pretty solid. Russell Wilson, Demarius Thomas, Carlos Hyde. Hopefully he'll pick up soon. I still remember watching that first game when he exploded. I thought he looked like AP.
I sent the trade request to Kevin so
I was
fast.
all in.
Yeah, man. Thank God, Kevin, you didn't take that trade.
But he has a stack of good running backs. I mean, he's benching Doug Martin in favor of TJ Yeldon and Devonta Freeman. So and we know Devonta Freeman's been the number 1 running back this year.
We know who Doug Martin is.
How many? 7 touchdowns the last couple weeks? He's projected to get 18 points in fantasy. I think that's still ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
it is a little, yeah.
Honestly, I really like Kevin's team in this one, even though Daniel Kim's team's actually been playing pretty well with Larry Fitzgerald having one of the best years of his life.
Yeah, and it's ballsy because, I hate to agree with you again. I don't want this podcast to be about agreeing with Josh, but, Daniel he's not starting 2 of his starting running backs. CJ Anderson, biggest bust of the year, and Marshawn Lynch, who is out, to be fair, but he lost 2 starting running backs, just like Josh, how he lost 2 wide receivers, but just for this game. But I'm not liking Daniel's team right now. Losing his 2 top running backs, it's not looking good. He's going to really have to rely on Peyton Manning, Julian Edelman, Larry Fitzgerald to carry him.
I just saw that Houston which defense Kevin started. They got 0 points.
Oh,
I didn't even see that. So it looks like
so he's projected 110 even with the 0 points.
No. That's projected with the 6.8.
Oh, it doesn't add in onto the zero already. No.
But
okay.
Kevin's already out to a pretty rocky start. I still stand by it. I think
stand
Kevin's
by it too.
Team can beat Daniel Skin this year.
I agree. Let's move on. Next game. So we have Josh Yo, the North remembers, and Danny Choi, Hardball so hard.
The 2 top teams in our league right now.
They're both 3-1. Let's see what the lines say.
It's crazy that they're not projected to break over 100 points this week. Even though they're
we got
not
Danny.
benching.
We got Danny +4.
Ooh.
He did have Big Ben, but now Mike Vick's taking his spot, so that doesn't help at all.
Ooh. He benched Andre. I mean, obviously he wasn't gonna start Andre, but Andre had one of the best revenge games I've seen in a while when he played against his former team, the Texans.
I'm gonna say this. I think we're about to witness our first tie.
What?
I think I know it's crazy, but I think
with decimal points. With decimal points,
it's
our league uses decimal points. By the way,
hasn't it happened before?
I don't remember the last time. Ever since we switched our league to decimal points, I don't remember us ever tying.
Oh man,
with decimals, is that possible?
I mean,
okay, if that happens, I'll eat my toothbrush.
You heard it here, guys. Josh will eat his toothbrush if they tie. I'm gonna call a tie. It just looks so downright even. I don't know how it's gonna work logistically, but they're gonna tie somehow. You heard it right here.
Honestly, I don't think he is. I don't think they are. I think, looking at it, I really like Joshua's teams in this matchup.
Really? Matt
Ryan, AJ Green, Amari Cooper, already top 5 players in their respective positions. Joseph Randle.
Julius Randle?
Just kidding. I don't know what to feel about him. Melvin Gordon hasn't been that bad. He'll get his guaranteed touches, so he'll be solid 10 points. Richard Rodgers has actually been a pretty serviceable tight end in that high-powered Green Bay offense. He scored 13 points last week, so.
True. You know what my favorite matchup is in this game?
What?
So Joshua's starting Julius Randle. I mean Joseph Randle. Sorry, I always say that. And then Danny's starting Darren McFadden.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
We got 2 Dallas Cowboy running backs going at each other. So we'll see if there's a vulture of touchdowns being stolen.
Oh wow.
So yeah,
he can go either way.
I like that.
I think the
Danny, good move.
But yeah, and Percy Harvin's like gadget player, get like his 8 points. But I really like Joshua's teams in this one. I think every matchup he beats, even though Antonio Brown and Julio Jones have been a beast. Man, Julio, the one that got away.
Well, I'm going to stand by the tie. I think they're going to tie. I'm calling a tie. But let's go on to the next match. So we got Arts and Crafty, Andrew Song. I don't know what that means either.
I actually talked to Andrew and I asked him what it means. Apparently it's the Tony Romo commercial, the direct cable commercial.
Arts and Craftsy?
Apparently, like, you know how like Tony Romo, like they have the I'm direct cable or direct TV Tony Romo and I'm cable Tony Romo. And apparently in that commercial, Tony Romo is like the scrubby, like he's in charge of arts and crafts or something like that, or like he's like.
Oh, what the?
That's why his name was Arts and Crafts, because he had Tony Romo before he got hurt.
Such a hipster name.
So yeah, there's that mystery solved.
Okay, well, so we got Andrew Song and Arts and Craftsy versus Anwin, the winners. So we have I can't even do the math on this. The lines is like Andrew
by 18 points.
Is it plus 18? Oh my god.
Yeah, plus 18. Wow.
That is crazy.
Even though
it's because he's starting with Sean McCoy, who's not even projected to play.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense.
But I don't know if like he's gonna change that for Darren Sproles. But
yeah. I mean, it seems like Andrew's already gone above the projections because DeAndre Hopkins, who's been a beast this year with Ryan Mallett throwing the ball at him. 22 points, and T.Y. Hilton had a pretty decent game.
Met his projections at 11.3.
So I think, let's see. I think I would have to give this to Andrew Song's team.
Even with LaShawn McCoy starting?
Oh no, I don't think he's gonna start LaShawn.
You think he's gonna switch him out?
Oh, LaShawn McCoy's out for like a couple of weeks. I don't know why.
Yeah, so I mean,
hey Andrew, if you're listening to this, you should switch your.
Hopefully, post this tonight.
Yeah, he has a grade 2 hamstring pull, so you should probably sit him out.
Just because of that, I have to go with Ann.
Just because
I think Ann has the worst team in the league, but Andrew has just started LaShawn McCoy, so just because of that, I'm gonna have to go with Ann. But yeah, so we got 3 more teams. We got Jonathan Kang, Charm City Chaos, versus Adrian Beat a Son, Mac Vu. Lines say Jonathan King -8.
And I've stand by my stance on saying that Mac, I think, has the best team. And I don't know why he's projected. Oh, it's because he has Greg Olsen.
This is what he did last Sunday too.
Y'all fantasy League of Champions, y'all need to update your roster.
It's Saturday night.
Oh shoot! I just realized it's Saturday night.
I mean, they have till Sunday morning.
I mean, yeah. Hey, Mac, you should probably.
I
want Jonathan King to lose.
This is what he did last Sunday. So I mean,
and he's gonna play it off. Like I was gonna do that.
Right. You know, Mac, I hope you forget. I don't care if Jonathan wins. I hope you forget.
But if Mac decides to switch his tight end out, I think he can beat Jonathan King handedly.
Wow. You know, Jonathan King has Gronkowski, Forte, and Aaron Rodgers. Those three alone can carry his team.
But he's starting Doug Baldwin and Ty Montgomery, which are like Doug Baldwin is on a run-first Seattle team, and Ty Montgomery is maybe the second, third option behind James Jones and Randall Cobb. And he's starting Charles Sims. Oh, God. Come on.
Dude, Aaron Rodgers, Matt Forte, and Gronkowski will easily make up for those numbers. Easily.
I don't know, man. I mean, I really do like Matt Forte and Latavius Murray.
Yeah, Latavius Murray.
I saw a stat on Reddit because I follow the NFL subreddit, but they were saying that Latavius Murray, out of all the running backs in the league, he has the most touches. So apparently he's considered the true bell cow.
Oh wow!
On that team, out of all the teams. So I mean, he's been a top 10 running back in fantasy this year. So, but I really like
Mac's team.
I think I do still stand by Max because it's just overall he has a pretty good team, and like I just don't like Jonathan's wide receiver and his flex. Like he's starting Charles Sims.
Another side note: Josh might be a little biased on this because he hates Jonathan.
I don't hate Jonathan.
He has some sort of weird vendetta against him.
I look up to him as an older spiritual mentor that I respect, but I just don't want him to win in our league because I've been in this league.
He did say that controversial, what did he say?
Yes, that this league is too easy, apparently.
And he hasn't even won yet. Like, what the? I mean, he has made the playoffs every year. He's either second or third.
I mean, yeah, I'll give that to him because he's pretty good at fantasy, but I'm just saying,
Josh has some weird, like, he hates Jonathan. Like, whenever Jonathan does well, Josh just, like, the evil flows in him.
It ruins my week. It ruins my week when I see Jonathan doing well in our league, and I'm bottom to last.
I think it's hilarious, but yeah, it's a little biased.
Wait, so you think Jonathan King's going to win?
He's going to easily win. Step over Mac. Even though Mac always goes past his projections, which is ridiculous. But okay, final two. Got Josh Lee here on this podcast, Mad Max versus Daniel aka Ego, aka F Jackson. What are the lines on this? We got Ego at -4.
I'm even surprised how close to line. Oh, it's because he has AP on bye.
Ooh,
this has to be the week that is my best chance of beating Ego. I just actually wanted to say I think Ego seems pretty bad too. Like
he should have kept Gio and Marshall.
Yeah, I mean like Drew Brees is pretty good, Randall Cobb is pretty good, Golden Tate is terrible, Shane Vereen's terrible, Owen Daniels has been a disappointment this year.
Yeah, shots being fired at left and right. That's how they never hear this podcast.
Chris Thompson, he's alright in a crowded Washington backfield with Alfred Morris and
it's weird. They don't have Lucifer Shanahan there.
They don't have him anymore, but still, Jay Gruden has been a train wreck. I don't think he knows how to coach, honestly.
Wow, another shots fired.
No, seriously, watching the Redskins, like Jay Gruden is an incompetent coach, and
considering the talent that
I'm calling it this year that he's gonna get fired by the end of the year.
Oh no! Oh my gosh! Want to put your toothbrush on that? No way!
You heard it here first.
You're ridiculous.
Yeah, Jay Gruden's getting fired after this year.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
That's 2 toothbrushes.
But anyway, I think I have a pretty good chance.
I think you do. I honestly think.
Yeah, because this week's lineup is pretty good for me. I have nobody on bye except Jordan Cameron on my tight end, but I think my team's pretty solid, even though I've lost 2 of my top receivers.
True.
Carson Palmer, who has been a top 5 quarterback in fantasy this year with
great pickup.
Thank
Great
you.
pickup.
Oh, yes, that was a free agency pickup. By the way, yeah, I did have Cam Newton and traded to Dewy. And Jordan Matthews and Vincent Jackson have been all right. Danny Woodhead, though. How about Danny Woodhead? PPR gold mine.
He is...
He's been awesome.
Every year he does this. And
I remember I drafted him and everyone told me I was stupid.
No, we thought you were stupid for drafting Alfred Morris for like $46, whatever it was. Or 36.
But Danny Woodhead, I told y'all that he was a top 13.
I mean, you gotta call ones every now and then.
Yeah. And Andre Ellington, hopefully, he's going to play this week behind Chris Johnson, even though I think Andre is supremely more talented. And Gary Barnage, that was
just someone to fill in for Jordan Cameron.
Tight end, yeah.
I like it. I hope he goes for like 20 points.
And Deshaun Jackson's also. Pierre Garçon has been getting like 12 targets a game, and I stupidly benched him last week for freaking Jermaine Kearse.
It's okay. We all make mistakes. It's okay. At least you have a win.
Yeah, surprisingly, I did.
So I'm guessing
I beat Andrew, by the way, Arson Krause, but
I'm guessing you're picking yourself then.
But yeah, I think I have a pretty good chance against Ego this week. So what do you think? Who do you think's gonna win?
Man, y'all both suck.
Hey,
I'm just kidding.
Says the guy who's last place in our league.
I know, they're like the last guy who should be talking smack right now. I mean, you made great points, honestly. Ego does not have AP this week. Adrian Peterson, yeah, that's just a huge loss. Arian Foster met his projections, which is nice.
Yeah, he still got 16 points even though he didn't get a touchdown, which is ridiculous.
I don't know. I just see weaknesses on both ends, but
yeah.
I'd say
if you had to pick if you had a gun pointed to your head and you had to pick,
but just shoot me now.
Put me out of the misery. I can't even figure out who's gonna win this week.
Man, are there gonna be 2 ties this week?
Oh, come on.
Okay,
so all right. You can't make up your mind. You're gonna say it's gonna be a tie. Come on,
yeah. Okay. I'll pick one. I don't like Drew Brees. He's just as...
He's like Peyton Manning. He can't
he's
throw.
Peyton
His
Manning.
passes
He's hurt. But he's hurt. Peyton Manning he's old. Drew Brees is hurt.
Apparently he is removed. He got removed from the injury report, so I think he's apparently healthy.
Yeah, Ego, I'm not liking your team right now without Adrian Peterson. Golden Tate, Shane Vereen, Chris Thompson, yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I don't want to go with Josh, but...
Come to the dark side.
I might have to go with you.
Thank you.
Reluctantly
going with Josh. All right, moving on.
Reluctantly going with Josh. Okay, our last matchup of the week. We can finally end this podcast. So we have Steve got him captured Jamal, Steve Wong, versus Stephen Min, Mary Goat. So Steve already has Dante Moncrief who only got 0.8 points.
Oh my goodness.
So that does not help at all.
God.
The lines right now, though, say Steve is minus... I can't do the math. What is
almost
that?
9.
Minus 9.
No, exactly 9 points, actually.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And I agree with it. Actually, no.
Even with Dante Moncrief only getting 0.8 points.
I mean, Steve is starting Blake Bortles. Ward Turtle.
To be fair, Andrew Luck is out.
Yeah. But actually, Blake Bortles actually been a pretty good fantasy quarterback. Apparently, he has one of the most passing attempts. Look, last week completed 20 of 50 passes. So you know they're going to pass it. So I think Blake Bortles will get a solid 18 points. Yeah,
him and Mariota, they're like equal.
They're going to cancel each other out. I think they even out. Steven has Odell Beckham Jr., one of the premier wide receivers of the league.
You know, just because we're on podcast and I can't give him any props right now. OBJ.
We can't support the Giants.
We hate the Giants.
we do hate the Giants.
It's our job to hate the Giants.
But Odell is pretty sexy. You have seen that video.
I'm not gonna say it.
He can do it all. He can kick. He can catch.
I'll say
if you haven't seen,
I'll say it off air.
if you haven't seen that one-handed catch that Odell Beckham Jr. caught against the Cowboys last year, y'all need to go and watch it because it is one of the most amazing videos I've seen in my life. So,
I agree. But screw that guy.
Yeah, I just had to be against the Cowboys. But
I see the toothbrush up his butt.
But, actually, yeah, I really don't like. I don't know how Steve is slated to score 104 points with Kendall Wright and Antonio Andrews at his flex.
Well, I mean, Jamal Charles is projected 20 points.
Eddie Lacy 15.
I mean, yeah, there's some inflated numbers out there.
I mean, the only 2 players that I like from Steve's team are Jamal Charles and Eddie Lacy, and in every other position he started Dante Moncrief, Kendall Wright, Blake Bortles. Antonio Gay is coming back from injury, so we don't know what we're gonna get from him. And Antonio Andrews on a crowded Titans backfield. They've rotated.
True.
Bishop Sankey will get 15 carries one week, and then you got who's the other guy?
Who? What?
Who's the other guy in that Titans running back committee?
Bishop
Antonio
Sankey?
Andrews, Bishop Sankey, and there's another guy.
Did I know
Dexter McCluster.
Dude,
Like, they
why
all-
are we talking about the Titans? Let's not talk about the Titans.
I'm just saying they all rotate running backs, and he's starting Antonio Andrews.
All right, so to sum it up, who do you think is gonna win?
Oh. I think Steven's team's gonna hand it easily win beat Steve.
Do you think it's gonna be the biggest point differential of the week?
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, Odell Beckham and Emmanuel's guaranteed 30 points.
Wow.
He got Chris Johnson.
Josh is
and
just
Ronnie
shooting fires all around.
and Jerry Mack been a stud. So, wait, what do you think? Who do you think is gonna win?
They both suck. I'm just kidding. Nah, I think Steven's gonna be champion. I honestly think Steven's gonna win it.
Win it all this year?
That's what I
It's
said.
time for the comeback.
I wrote my article. I said it on this pod. Dude,
Wow,
Steven,
you heard it here first.
Steven, you're about to join with me
The Mount Rushmore of champs.
of
Even though he has no win.
winning multiple championships. So, Steven, congratulations. You're my pick. So, I think that pretty much ends it with that was the last game. We just want to end this pod. Or do you have something else to say?
Oh, I just want to give a shout out to our girl Nikki Mang.
Nikki Mang. So, and we also want to give a shout out to John.
Oh,
Kim.
John Kim. Yeah, this would not been made possible without John's amazing engineering work.
No, seriously.
Say hi
awesome.
to the people.
Hey.
That was John Kim.
We'll probably have John in our other podcast.
Sound technician.
Yeah, exactly. But other than that, yeah, that's a wrap. So we'll hopefully be back next week.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
All right, bye.